Hey parents, this is Mr. Holland here from West Ranch High School. You are getting into your first day with your kids being on distant learning. And one of the things that we're missing this year is our open house. And the thing I love about open house is that I get to meet you. I get to talk to you about your student, how good they're doing, areas to improve in. And so we're missing that out this year. But what I wanted to do, at least on this last day when I can be on campus, is to just kind of give you a quick open house of what goes on in my classes and what goes on. So real quick, I'm just going to come over and I want to welcome you to, I'm just going to figure out to room 407. Okay, and I'm coming back, I teach AP European History, teach AP World History, and I teach Mod Civ, or Modern Civilizations. So I've got 3 different classes, so it's quite a beast, but in a good way. I love history. I love the kids, so here we are. I'm gonna start by first flipping you around and giving you just kind of preview or a review of my classroom and where your kids are taking. I wonder if I can do that. It doesn't look like I can do it. So I'm just gonna turn you around, and if this messes up, we'll just do our best. Okay, so I'm gonna flip you around, not having a clue if it's focused or anything like that. And here we go. Okay. Welcome to room 407. This is the best classroom on the West Ranch High School campus. And I just gotta say, don't let anyone else tell you otherwise. Best classroom. The only thing, it has no view, but best classroom. Okay, so I'm gonna go around, and there's a few just highlights, very few small things that I just wanted to share with you about what your students have accomplished this year. I'm gonna start with Mod Civ, and we just finished up World War II. And so a couple things we did to start looking at World War II is we created flow maps of the road to war. What was it that led us to World War II? And you can see the kids put together flow maps or timelines of that, and just kind of figured out, okay, how does history work in the sense of this causes this, boom, war. Okay, so, and then one of the things we did to look at the battles was each group of students chose a battle. They researched a battle, and then move this one up, Coral Sea, invasion of Poland. They chose a battle, and then they researched that battle. Because we didn't really take a ton of time to go through the battles, we really looked at how does World War II really impact people. It's kind of how we did it. So we didn't spend too much time, but the students, in response to looking at various battles, we come over here, and they made battle pocketbooks. And this was a great way to summarize what they did in groups and to look and see, okay, how did the war progress through battles? So I'm gonna bring us over here because I'm gonna spend a little bit more time with AP World, but in AP European History, we were studying the 1800s, the politics, the economics. Sometimes it's like, what? It's kind of boring. So one of the things we did was we took a day, about a day and a half actually, and the students were assigned, or they chose actually, a topic from Victorian life and had to research that topic, create a poster for that topic, and then they had to present to the class so that we could actually see what is real life, because we're real people, and what do real people do during different times of history. So we can see there's hygiene and some of the different things that, like body odor, shower please. Okay, medicine and health. We've got etiquette, which we could probably use a little bit more of. of how can we treat each other well, and how can we be respectful and kind. We have over here types of clothing, and way too many types of clothing. Yeah. And then home decor. Just what does life look like? How do people in other time periods live? And one of the fascinating ones that isn't up here is, how did they mourn? And the Victorians went way out in the sense of mourning and grieving over the loss of a loved one. So we're going to go over here, and let's see. Well, let's start here. So the students last semester did a flat Stanley project, and what they had to do for AP World, they looked at Renaissance artists. For AP Euro, they looked at leaders in the 1700s. So you might see Catherine the Great there, you might see Frederick II, and I am just hopefully giving you just a good overview. And one of the things with AP classes in particular is we focus a lot on writing and skills, and so many of our kids are capable in that, but so many of our kids have this great creative side. And so every once in a while, it's nice to bring that out so that they can show a different set of skills that may not be on the AP exam. Okay, down here we had, and this was early last semester, the students took apart, and it looks like I left one over there in the corner. Okay, but they had to look at a society and what it looked like before and what it looked like after, and how that changed. And so that was very fascinating, because as we're experiencing right now, life is changing, culture is changing, society is changing, hopefully in a better way. As we come over here in AP World to visualize the Silk Road, the Silk Trade, here are some maps that the students put together, and you can see that we are tracing connections between different parts of the world. I'm just going to let you look for a moment. Hopefully it's not too fast. And we can see how the world is connected, just like it is today. Just like it is today. And then here we are reviewing. Oh, Ms. Pavletic just wanted to say hi. Okay, here we are reviewing sketch notes. And sketch notes have been an opportunity for us to bridge both the content notes in a creative way, to get the mind thinking beyond bullet points. And so students have in AP World have done this. You presently have the second set of sketch notes. So remember when that's due on Google Classroom, because Mr. Holland doesn't remember at the moment. Okay, but here we go. Okay, and you can see that part of the study is looking at the words and putting it in a different format. And some students really struggled with it because they have to engage their mind in a way they typically don't. And many of our students, many of our AP students in particular, think one way, and it's a real struggle to make them or give them the opportunity to think another way. And that's the beauty of something like sketch notes, is it really challenges the mind to think beyond what the student presently thinks. I'm going to just quickly come over here, and I wanted to show you parents, if we have AP exams, who knows, we're waiting on the College Board, but if they get a 5 on the APs, which is the highest, they get to go up on the Mighty Historian Hall of Fame. And you can see these are all AP Euro from years past, starting in 2011. So 9 years ago. The AP World students will have a different designation, a flag from the world, if they get a 5. If your student gets a 3 or a 4, which is passing, you will get up on the Mighty Historian honorees. Okay, so you can look all the years past and see that's there. And I just want to say real quick, I'm not a parent. I don't have kids. But I look at the next few weeks and the opportunity you have with your kids. And I hope that this is a good time for you to engage with your kids, your students, differently than on a normal day. Of making breakfast together, making lunch together, making dinner together, playing board games, working on a project on the house, going for a walk. Put the phone down. Engage. And I'm telling your kids, because this is a time when they need stability. They need to know that it's all going to be okay. Maybe you should tell them your stories. What has life been like for you? What are the challenges you faced? And how did you get through those? Because as I said in my first video, we've been through 9/11. We've been through Columbine. We've been through some of these other things that as a culture, as a society, has really changed us. But maybe you could tell your student, your child, about what was that like for you personally, and give them a sense that it's all going to be okay. There really is nothing to worry about. Okay, so I'm going to end today, and I'm just going to flip you around again. I thought I could flip in between. Don't worry about it. But I ended the last video with a quote. And if anybody knows me, knows I love quotes. We do a quote every day. And this is the one that I gave to the students yesterday. And so I hope that it gives you some type of encouragement, some type of inspiration going forward. Here we go. Oh, before I actually do that, if you should have any question, anything, please feel free to email. I love email, by the way, for the most part. Email me questions like, my student's supposed to do this, doesn't know how to do it. I'm here. Please know that. Okay, so quote, Elizabeth Kubler-Ross. Here's what she says. The most beautiful people we have known are those who have known defeat, known suffering, known struggle, known loss, and have found their way out of the depths. These persons have an appreciation, a sensitivity, and an understanding of life that fulfills them with compassion, gentleness, and a deep, loving concern. Beautiful people do not just happen. So parents, as we go forward, tomorrow's our first day of distance learning. I pray that it is an excellent, excellent time, not just of learning, but of also learning life. I haven't met many of you yet, and open house was the time when I get to do it, but I'm glad to be on this journey with you, with your student, and we're all going to come back in April, and it's going to be great. See you later.